Jai Shri Ram, welcome to Astrology with Abhilasha. Today I am discussing about yantras and how you can use this yantra as a remedy for particular planet which are weak in your horoscope. Now, to use a particular yantra, first and foremost, you should understand which planet is not giving its fullest result in your horoscope. It is very easy to understand even without knowing complete in depth of astrology that whether a planet is not giving you good results or if the energy of the planet is pretty low. So I will tell you the signs which you can follow to understand whether a planet is weak in your chart, and then you can use the corresponding yantra to that planet to energize and to bring in the energy of that planet in your chart. All right, and it is a remedy which I have used personally in my life and I've seen magical results. I've suggested it to the clients, and within 3 months they have seen a whole lot of transformation in their lives. So, because a yantra is a very ancient uh, form of worshipping a deity, and it is a very ancient form of reception of energy from the cosmos. Because if you understand, even our body is a yantra, and in this yantra we hold the soul and liberates the karma. Similarly, yantra of every planet is like a chair, a throne to the deity, to the planet preceding it. So, keeping a yantra can open the source of reception of energy in your life. So, using these yantras, you can easily open up the resources of reception of energy of a particular planet, and also it is about liberating and depleting the karma related to that planet. All right. So there are few cautions which you should use while energizing a yantra or keeping it at your home. Uh, Never do pran pratishtha of a yantra if you cannot serve the yantra in a routine pattern daily. Always keep it in a chalit form, which is a movable form. All right, this is the first thing. Then you can opt for a local pandit who can energize the yantra and keep it at your temple at home. And then you can just do a particular mantra of the planet related to the yantra in your daily worship course. That is the form which you should do. There is no need to do anything which is beyond the normal lifestyle source. So keep it simple, and I believe the most simple kind of prayer yields amazing results. So do not fall into a lot of formalities. Just the bare minimum is needed. So let's start how you should understand which yantra is for you. What does your chart require? What does your life require? So if let's suppose we are talking about the yantra for sun, what kind of energy is missing in your life which indicates that you need the yantra for sun? Now, as we all know, sun is considered the most powerful planet in Vedic astrology. It is responsible for the soul we are with in this world. It is also responsible for the health, vitality, and our social status. So if you feel that you have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, if you lack the energy and vigor to start anything new on your own without the support of other people, then the energy of sun is lacking in your chart. If you have lack of personal opinion, if you can't put forth, if you can't communicate what you're thinking in a clear manner with confidence, then the energy of sun is low in your chart. These are certain signs which we can notice even without knowing the in-depth of astrology, and can understand that what is the deficiency in your chart. If you always feel lack of heat in your body, if you are a kapha pravritti person, then also the energy of sun is low in your chart. Whatever the time of the year may be, you still feel lack of heat, and there is always an atmosphere of cold around you, then the energy of sun is lacking. If your face or your personality does not make an impact that is beyond physical beauty or anything, but if your personality is not as impactful on the other person whenever you try to communicate or put forth your thoughts, then also you can say that the energy of sun is diminishing in your chart. And if you see, according to Vastu, in the eastern direction of your house, if there is a lot of clutter, if there are lack of light sources, natural light sources in the eastern direction of your house, then also you should understand that the energy of sun is low in your chart, and you need a sun yantra to uplift, to energize your chart. Now, even a very basic concept you should understand, that sun also denotes father figures in a life. So if you do not have a very cordial relation with your father, your bosses, or father figure in your life in general, and you lack their support, that also indicates that sun is not very favorable for you, not acting accordingly. So now, sun yantra should be placed in the eastern direction of your house, or wherever is the place of worship in your house. Mind it, you should keep in the eastern direction. So that should be done. And any simple mantra of Surya should be chanted, at least one mala, that is 108 mantras should be chanted. It can be Om Grini Suryaya Nama, or any mantra which you are comfortable with, which is related to sun. This should be done near about the time of sunrise in whichever place you are residing in. You should take down the local sunrise time and do it. You can do it on sun hora as well. If you can't keep a ritual for daily practice, at least do it on Sundays. That would be very beneficial to attract the power of sun in your life. Now, how to understand that you need yantra for moon? As we all know, moon is also a very powerful planet in your chart. It deals on the mental plane. It deals with the psyche of a person, the mental status of a person. It influences home, relation with mother, even females in your life. Relation with females in your life is also governed by moon. Emotion, feeling of pressure, or feeling elated, any kind of feeling is related to moon. Subconscious activities can also be assigned to moon. How intuitive you are. Is your gut feeling reliable? How communicative you are. Are you empathetic? while you're communicating? Are you a sympathetic humankind? All these parameters depends on the influence of moon in your chart. So when moon goes low on energy, or it does not give you the desired power, you will not feel like communicating with anyone around you, or you'll at least minimize the communication with the people around you. You just want to live in your cocoon, and that is all. So low on communication, tendency of anxiety even on the smallest matter of life, often feeling depressed or deprived of emotional support in your life. When you understand that the condition of mother and motherly figure in your life wasn't very good, even their personal conditions, keeping apart their relation with you, you can see the relative denoted to a planet as an individual and can judge their life to see whether you have the corresponding planet good in your chart or not. So I've often also seen that people who have came through moon often have a single mother, or a mother who have raised them without the support of their father. Maybe their father working somewhere else, or there was a family discord or something, but this has been seen. So these small things can add up to understand whether a planet is giving you a good result or a bad result. Whenever you come into your house, you start feeling some heaviness. Whenever you're outside your house, everything is happy and chirpy, but as you enter the home, you start feeling the pressure and heaviness around you. That also indicates that the energy of moon is low. Northern side is very cluttered in your home. You can understand that the energy of moon is low. You have a problematic relation with the opposite gender in your life. Then also you can understand that you need a moon yantra, a chandra yantra in your life. When the moon is strong in your chart, it will give you good intuition qualities. Your gut feeling will never fail. Your gut feeling will also be very supportive throughout your life. You have strong relationships within the family, outside the family, strong bonds and friendships. You have a joyful communication. We see few people are the light of the party. Those kind of people always have a good mood. Wherever they go, they lighten up the atmosphere and be a happy-go-lucky kind of a person. Very emotionally balanced. All right. Neither always driven by emotion, neither ruthlessly practical. Okay, there is a complete balance whenever we talk about the good energy of moon. People with good moon are very entertaining and receptive of knowledge of any kind. So they are always inquisitive and ready to learn and move ahead in life. They cannot be stagnant. Their life is a pattern of progress. All right. So these are few signs which you can see in your life and understand whether the moon is afflicted, it is giving you bad result, or it is good and sound and strong in your chart. If it is afflicted and giving you results which are not desired, you should keep a Chandra Yantra. And you can easily chant 108 mantra every day, or at least once a week. on Mondays, and you can pick up any moon or Chandra mantra. Om Chandraya Namah can also do the thing. So that is for moon. Now coming to Mars. Mars, as we understand, is a planet of action, is a planet of energy. It is responsible for every kind of physical activity we do. It is responsible for passion and aggression in our life. It is not wrong to say that Mars is the driving force in your chart. It is the starting and ending point of everything. It is the action and the equal and opposite reaction in every chart. That's why Aries is the first sign taken in the Kalpurush Kundali, and Scorpio is the 8th sign, because it is the starting and the ending of any action we do. Mars is the controller of it. If you lack sexual pleasures in your life, if you are disinterested in intimate activities, if you are not a healthy competitor, I would not say that the energy of competition should be missing, but if it is not healthy, then your Mars is not very good. So competition, anger, the feeling of revenge, all of this comes under the purview of Mars. Mars can be taken as the opposite of Venus. Venus, which is a female energy. So we should understand that Mars is the masculine energy in our chart. So we attribute everything which we consider as masculine to Mars. Taking initiatives, being a leader. It is everything which is logical in your life. Every logical action is more governed by Mars rather than Moon or any other planet. Now, Yantra of Mars should be placed in the southern direction of your house, and you should always keep the southern direction of your house without clutter if Mars is afflicted in your chart or it is weak. Now, how should we understand a weak Mars? If you have a weak Mars, you lack the initiative, you lack the courage, you're hot-tempered, you're short-tempered. Even the slightest agitating factor in your life can make you burst into anger, and you actually drag down the scenario to the worst possible outcome. Suppose you are there to negotiate with somebody. If you have a weak Mars, rather than being diplomatic and negotiating, you will turn it into, burning bridges. You will just raise the complete thing to the ground, and you will be elated after doing it if you have a weak Mars. All right. Lack of ambition. Even if you construct an ambition, if you have an aim, you always leave it halfway. You never take it to the completion. That is the sign of a weak Mars. Weak body and enthusiasm of spirit. You're always anemic, or at least once in your lifetime you'll face, lack of RBCs, or an anemic person in your life. You'll be that if Mars is not strong in your chart. You panic at any situation which is demanding of courage. So lack of courage is also a sign of weak Mars. You easily get burnt, you easily get wounded, but there is a slight difference. People with strong Mars also sometimes get burns and wounds, but they will not be life threatening, and they will only happen if there is a malefic influence along with uh, well posited Mars, only then. But weak Mars can give you burns, cuts and wounds, which can go up to the extent of impairing your daily lifestyle. So that is the difference. Not being very polite, always having a rude attitude is also a condition which we can see when the Mars is afflicted. Not interested in sports, or completely lacking a routine in life is also a condition of afflicted Mars. Now, when you place a Mars Yantra and you invoke the positive energy of Mars, you will feel a lot of energy, good health, robust health, lot of masculine features in your personality. Leadership qualities will be invoked in you if you keep a Mars Yantra. You will have an improved sexual relation, and there will be a surge of determination in your life, in your decision. You will be determined to do or achieve your goals if you have any. And certainly, if you invoke the energy of Mars, if you're feeling that you are lacking goals in your life, you should invoke the energy of Mars, and this will help you a lot. Now, coming to the Yantra of Jupiter and the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is equivalent to the amount of prosperity you have in your life, the amount of happiness you have in your life, which is not at all directly proportional to the materialistic comfort of your life. Whenever you are internally happy and satisfied, it is because of the grace of Jupiter, irrespective of what kind of comfort you have in life. If you are constantly putting your effort towards success, if you are optimistic, if you are generous, and you believe in the goodness you can give to the society, and you believe that the society is still a good place to live in, you have a strong Jupiter. Jupiter denotes the wealth of spiritual knowledge, also expansion, growth, and achieving a shift in your life which is toward progress is also governed by Jupiter. Power and position in society, along with Sun, Jupiter also rules that. But what's the difference between the power of a Sun and Jupiter? Sun will not think twice in, pulling other people down and gaining power, because it's the king, it's the ruler to maintain their reign, their supremacy, will never think twice to grab the people who are under them, to extract things from masses to gain power. That is the power which Sun rules. Jupiterian power is because of the knowledge a person have. It will come automatically to you. You do not have to grab it, to snatch it, or to command it. It will come naturally to you because of your knowledge, your enigmatic personality, and your generosity. So that is the power and position which a good Jupiter gives in the society, and that is how it is different from Sun. Now the yantra for Jupiter should be placed in the northeast side of your home or your temple. Now, how do we understand that Jupiter is not giving you good result? If you have a lot of self pity, if you lack the general happiness of in life, even after having every materialistic comfort, if you are not internally happy, if you are not content with whatever you have, you are lacking the grace of Jupiter. If you do not love your motherland that much, if you often feel the urge of going abroad and leaving your motherland, then also the Jupiter isn't showering the grace in you. It is also a remedy which I give to people with debilitated Jupiter, that they should not leave their motherland, their native place, their birthplace. And even if they leave, they should often visit their birthplace, their native place, once a year and offer something to the local deity there to maintain the grace of Jupiter in life. Even if your Jupiter is good, you'll naturally do all of this. You will always be intact with your roots. But for the people with debilitated Jupiter, this is a good lifestyle remedy which you can do. So change of living place, leaving your motherland, leaving your country, urge of moving out abroad also is seen with a weak Jupiter. Overweight, the disease of eating too much and eating when you have an emotional imbalance, that is also a sign of bad Jupiter. When you cannot control your eating habits, it means the Jupiter is weak. Along with being overweight, even being underweight is considered a disbalance in the energy of Jupiter. So it can be both ways, right? Disease related to your spleen and liver is also under the purview of Jupiter. Weak immune system, weak body, weak sense of grit, lack of grit in your life is also because of weak Jupiter. If you are a spendthrift, I understand that spending on what you love is okay, but if you are a spendthrift, you earn a certain amount and you exceed the spending limit by loaning, etc., then the power of wisdom is lacking, the power of Jupiter is lacking in your chart. Once you place a Jupiter Yantra and the Jupiter starts to improve in your life, you will experience that effortlessly you will be able to, achieve your goals, to reach your destination in life. It will be easier for you. People will come around, will help you out of nowhere. You will always have the grace of divine, the helping hand will be always around you whenever you are in a fix, if the Jupiter starts to improve. So social status will improve automatically. You will have good connection with highly placed people. You will turn more spiritual, and the energy of positiveness will enter your residence, and the people residing in it will automatically feel elated and euphoric. Even in limited resources, people will be satisfied. If you have a detrimental health condition, placing a Jupiter Yantra and even a Sun Yantra can give you great health as well. So that is also one thing which you should keep in mind while doing a remedy for yourself or telling a remedy to your client. You should understand what is the most pressing issue in their life. If they think they can do with limited resources but they need a good health, you should choose accordingly. Now again, you can take any guru mantra and can place this yantra in your temple, energize it with the help of a local pandit who do the ritualistic process for you. And if you are lucky enough to have a guru, placing it with the blessing of a guru is much more effective. All right. Now coming to Mercury Yantra. Now what does Mercury signifies in our daily life? Mercury signifies our mental capabilities, our education, our specialization in a particular field, how we manage things, what is the level of energy in our life, the quotient of joy, and always being young and energetic is all under the purview of Mercury. Sometimes we see people have a problem of lack of sensation. They might not feel too much of cold, they might not feel too much of heat. That can also be seen because of a badly placed Mercury. Sometimes we see people get cuts and wounds and they don't even realize when and how they actually had a small cut or something, or where did they hit their elbow, their knees, etc., and they just have a blue mark or a cut, and then they realize that, oh, I did happen to meet, knocked off my leg or had a cut on my finger or etc., all of that. That also shown by a weak Mercury. You do not have the sense of sensation if the Mercury is weak. You lack the desired speed in your daily chores. That is also due to the lack of influence of Mercury, good Mercury in your chart. Mercury is also responsible for the speech, communication, and contacts you have. Finances in your life is also under the purview of Mercury. Success in business, trade is also governed by Mercury. So how do you understand if you have a weak Mercury in your chart? You always love to criticize others. You are a nitpicker. You are self-loathing, too critical on yourself. Even the slightest and smallest action of others can lay an impact over you, can ruin your mood, and you are too sensitive to any criticism as well. One is that you are critical yourself, and the other is that you are too sensitive about the criticism you receive from other people. That shows that the Mercury in your chart is afflicted. People who often abuse or use obscene language which is not acceptable in a sober society, also have an afflicted Mercury or a weak Mercury. Always reckless, restless at all the time also shows weak Mercury in the chart. Addiction of any sort is also under Mercury. If you are easily influenced by your company, we often see that a bad company makes a bad human being, a good company makes a good human being, but that is not very correct. You should have a stout personality of your own. It shouldn't be affected by the people you're surrounded with. So if your personality gets easily affected by the people you're surrounded with, if you easily follow up trends and do not have a singular personality, then your Mercury seems to be afflicted. So you should understand this fact as well. Now, when you keep a Mercury Yantra, a Buddha Yantra, and the energy of Mercury starts to improve in a chart, you will have a good communication ability. You will be able to strike communication whenever it is needed, even with strangers, and you'll come across as a very receptive personality, as a very joyful being. You will have a lot of support whenever you'll start anything new, any new project, because a weak Mercury also denotes lack of support from your kith and kins as well. So whenever the energy of Mercury starts improving, you'll have a lot of support in whatever you start something new. Whenever you want to try a new business or a new habit you want to form, people will automatically come around and support you. Fear of public speaking will also vanish if the Mercurian energy will start to improve. People will automatically listen to your suggestion if the Mercury starts to influence in a positive manner. Once you achieve a positive influence of Mercury in your chart, you will be able to enlighten the atmosphere around you, be it with your humor rather than being a sarcastic one. You'll be good at humor. You'll be good at invoking the feeling of pleasure in people around you. Your parents, your siblings, your spouse, your co-workers will love to be around you. That is also a sign of a good Mercury. Good in trades, you'll become good with your finances, your financial papers, your taxation, everything will fall into place and be very arranged. Because a weak Mercury also give you lack of, filing up taxes on time, keeping, a track of your financial activities, saving, etc. Everything is under the purview of Mercury. So, whenever it is not in a good position in your chart, you lack all of these abilities. Now the yantra for Shukra, Venus in your chart. I think everybody wants this planet to be in a good position because it ensures love, joy, attraction, beauty, all sorts of comfort, materialistic comfort in your life. This planet governs it and ensures it that you achieve these factors in your life. But this is only achievable when you have a beautifully placed Venus, if you have a good energy of Venus in your chart. But if this planet is not working in the best of you, then you will feel lack of all these factors in your chart. Marital discord, general lack of pleasure in relations, lack of comfort in your life, or even lack of redeeming the comfort in your life. Even you have a beautiful car, you have a beautiful home, you're not able to enjoy and relish it. Even if you have a beautiful girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, you're not able to spend time with them because of your occupation, etc. Now you should place this yantra in the southern eastern part of your home. What are the other signs of weakness of Venus? Lack of beauty and aesthetic in your life. If you feel problem of infertility, and infertility, not only I'm talking about the physical part of human anatomy, I'm also talking about infertility in general life, when you cannot produce anything new, when you cannot produce anything which can be appreciated by others. If that complete arena of being productive is lacking in your life, then you lack the energy of Venus. Having kidney diseases, diseases related to infections, UTI, etc., relationship problems, and all of these are related to a bad Venus. Now, if the Venus starts to improve, you will have a harmonious relationship with your spouse. You will be able to energize the pleasure in your life. You will be able to understand the truest meaning of affection and love. You'll automatically become charismatic in your day-to-day life, in your action, in your way of speaking. You will be a person of high impact. Once you come in a social circle, your presence will be noticed. So you can keep this yantra of Venus. If you think that you lack luxuries in your life, and even if you have a luxurious lifestyle, you lack the time and space to enjoy it, the mental ability to enjoy it, you can place this yantra in your temple and worship it on a daily basis, or at least on Friday. So that is one thing with Venus. And you can use Om Shukraya Namah as the mantra. That is one basic thing which you can do. Now, talking about Saturn. A weak Saturn will give you the lack of gravity in your chart, the lack of depth in your chart. You will lack the sincerity you need to achieve your goals, the lack of effort. You understand, whatever every other planet gives you in your life, it is through the purview of Saturn itself. Unless you do the Saturnian task, you cannot achieve or relish whatever the other planets promises in your chart. This is the thing which I've seen and understood by looking into various charts and analyzing their lives. Unless you fulfill the task of Saturn, you cannot enjoy or relish whatever is promised in your chart by other planets. Saturn governs longevity, patience, sincerity, hard work, devotion, the thought of being righteous in your chart. It also rules the masses. What is common is also ruled by Saturn. The servants around you, people who work under you, or anybody who's dependent on you, can also be seen by Saturn. Yantra of Saturn should be kept in the western side. The western side of your home should be kept clean and tidy. If you have an afflicted Saturn, generally If you have a strong Saturn, you will see that the western side of your home is quite airy. There will be natural light sources in the western side of your house if you have a good Saturn. Now, the signs of weak Saturn is that you feel lonely, you lack the general support, you are impatient, restless, reckless in your action, and you cannot follow a regime. You cannot follow a daily pattern. You lack the discipline in your life. That these are the signs of a weak Saturn. You're always in a state of melancholy. You lack humor. You do not like people around you who can crack jokes or can enlighten the mood. You are the sad Sally of the group. You like being in a sadistic approach always. Even if you are having the best of everything in your world, you like to remain low key and sad. That is the clear cut case of a weak Saturn in your chart. Frequent suffering of cold is also a sign of weak Saturn. You cannot tolerate high temperature around you. You do not like warm places. That all is the sign of a weak Saturn. Now, if you understand by these signs that the Saturn is weak in your chart, or it is not giving you the desired result, and you keep the Yantra of Saturn, Shani in your house, then you will start seeing the progress and success in your work. Health and longevity will improve. If somebody is terminally ill in your relative or your home vicinity, they will see a drastic improvement in health. Ability to finish what you started is also seen by the Yantra of Saturn. Ability to handle difficult situation, whatever may come, you'll pass through it, is under the purview of a good Saturn. So once you keep the Yantra of Saturn, all these things will start improving in your life. You will avoid self-pity. You will believe in working and winning. And now one thing which I want to say with caution regarding the Yantra of Saturn. Whenever you wear the stone related to Saturn, that is blue sapphire, or whenever you start doing a remedy related to Saturn, be assured that your karma start phasing out faster. All right, and that is not always a good case. To deplete your karma before time is not always a good choice. All right, so take it with caution. Understand what you desire in your life, and then only venture with the Yantra of Saturn. Specifically, I'm telling about the Yantra of Saturn. Be very cautious to invoke this energy in your chart, in your life. All right, I would suggest, if you are not a family person, if you are single, and if you are more inclined toward spirituality in your life, only then invoke this energy. That is my personal suggestion, but otherwise you can go ahead and do it, and you can pick any Shani mantra, whichever suits you, whichever you like, and whichever is easy to recite for you. That is all from my side. And for I know people will ask for the Yantra of Rahu and Ketu. I will not suggest it without seeing the individual chart, whether the yantra of Rahu or Ketu should be kept. All right, so that is very, very chart specific. The yantra related to Rahu and Ketu is very chart specific, so I will not disclose it in the public video. That is to be seen through the chart itself. All the rest of I've discussed with you. I've given you tips how to understand what kind of energy you're lacking in a chart and what yantra you should keep and worship. And it works magically. Trust me, I've seen it in my personal life and I've given it to the clients as well. And you have to just diligently keep doing the ritual for 3 months and you see the results. Jai Shri Ram. Please stay connected.